Well, thanks for visiting us this morning at KTALnews.com. I'm meteorologist Josh Morses, and this is your Wednesday morning forecast update. Pretty big pattern change for us today. We get some of that typical fall weather. It's been so warm this fall. A lot of days at or above 80 degrees. You kind of forget that 66 or so is our average high, and that's exactly where you should wind up this afternoon. I would say the wind's going to be a little annoying this morning, but the gusty conditions will die down a bit this afternoon, but it is that wind that's going to make it feel pretty chilly today, even though the sun will be out. So make sure you have long sleeves or a jacket if you're out and about this morning, as the temperatures here right now in the 50s, but by sunrise I think most of these areas will have dropped into the 40s. Our cold front rolled through a few days ago, but we're just now getting the cooler air moving in, and again, the air wants to move high to low, so high pressure here in North Texas. The low is over here in Florida. We're kind of caught in between, which is why we're feeling those breezy conditions this morning. The wind speeds out of the northwest about 15 miles per hour, and expecting frequent gusts this morning up to about 25 miles per hour, but the wind should begin to die down after 3 p.m. or so today. But that north wind is pushing some cooler air in our direction, so your highs today close to average in the low to mid 60s, but that's a pretty big change from all the 80-degree days we've had so far this fall. And then later tonight, 30s and 40s, may see some frost out there later tonight if it's not too dry, and temperatures will likely stay just a few degrees above freezing. But I would say if you're concerned about that, may want to just cover up the plants or maybe bring those inside in Arkansas. But I do expect everybody will stay at least a few degrees above freezing later this evening. So again, the area of low pressure with the cold air wrapped up in it is just to our northwest, and you can see the winds here. The jet stream will stay out of the northwest through Saturday, so until Saturday we'll likely stay here in the 60s, but as the jet stream flattens out, we'll start to pull some of that warmer air back into the Arklatex. So next Monday we could wind up in the 80s, and our next storm system looks to roll through Tuesday into Wednesday. This one will be packing some cold air as well, so if you do have some Thanksgiving travel plans, does appear that we may see some rain and storms across the region middle of next week. The worst of it probably north of us, so I would say travel should be impacts at the moment here look to be pretty minimal for us, and we should dry out by the time we reach Thanksgiving Day. But similar to today, we'll likely tap into some of that colder air, and wouldn't be surprised if we had Thanksgiving highs maybe in the 50s and low 60s, expecting sunny conditions. But again, just depending on the timing of that system next week, we could see some changes. But at this point, I would expect the rain will wrap up by Thanksgiving Day. That will be our next chance of rain. Will likely stay dry through the weekend here. Sunday will begin that warming trend, so after a cool day on Saturday, we'll be back to about 80 degrees on Sunday, and likely in the low 80s on Monday, and then we'll get some of those showers and storms next Tuesday and Wednesday before we dry out Thanksgiving Day.